This home is the Hansen home, our Hansen house. It was built by Hans Hansen and his wife Anne. They were born in Denmark and joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints there and immigrated to Zion. They arrived in Ephraim in November of 1854 and lived in poverty for the first several years. Eventually, in 1862, Hans was able to build this two-story home, which was one of the nicer homes in Ephraim. At that time in Ephraim, there were a lot of Scandinavian saints, and many of them had the same last name. They called each other by nicknames to differentiate the different people. Hans Hansen's nickname was Rich Hansen. When he crossed the plains with the pioneers, he brought with him a small can of green paint. When he built this two-story home, he painted his front door green. Because he was the only person to have a painted door, everyone thought he must be rich, which brought about the nickname Rich Hansen. As you come in the door, there's a beautiful winding staircase that goes into the second story. Back then, they didn't want to take up a lot of room with stairways, so the steps are steep and narrow, but has beautiful woodwork that shows real craftsmanship in the way wood was bent and turned to make this staircase. On the east side of the home, there's a nice big room that was probably used as the parlor. One of our display cases holds a small black cape in it, which belongs to one of the three sisters. Each was given a cape similar to this by their father. Ephraim holds much Scandinavian heritage, and you will find that we carry many artifacts from them, as well as the wool sweater and wooden shoes. These cases mainly hold glass items, dishes, as well as a collection of old salt and pepper shakers. Here we have a beautiful photo album, old books, ledgers, and a couple of really beautiful little mesh purses that ladies would have used for special occasions. There are also several typewriters and an adding machine, an old radio from the late 1800s to early 1900s. We have a collection of men's shaving items as well, from straight-edge razors to the strap that was used to sharpen them. Here is a red lantern that was used on the railroad when the railroad came through Ephraim. We have a couple miners' lamps too. The first railroads, or the first coal mines in Utah Territory, were over the West Mountains, and we did have coal mines there for quite some time. The first railroad that came into Sanpete ran along the west foothills to the mines there, so they could take coal to the places that needed it. Here we have a hand-braided whip and a riding crop that were both used to encourage horses to move faster. We have a wooden mallet in here that was used in the building of the Manti Temple, and is one of the very special items we hold. There are some high-topped shoes that used to hang in the old co-op store in Wales, Utah, and was then donated here. This next room is the downstairs west room of the Hansen home. In our display cases, we hold many kitchen items. We have an ice cream holder, an old electric toaster, and a tin pan. Here are many artifacts and pictures of the old Ephraim tabernacle. On the wall behind the pulpit is a mural showing the angel Moroni appearing to the prophet Joseph Smith. This mural was painted by pioneer artist Hansen. We have many of his paintings that were used in church articles, and this painting was probably one of the last things that he created. This is a small cast iron stove with a metal cup on the top, made by the company in Cincinnati, Ohio, and was owned and donated by the Christian Larson family. This display holds many containers of what pioneers would use for baking powder or other items that may have been used around the home. Shampoo, spices, chewing gum, medicines, and wound dressings. Small metal rings linked together, which we call the Pioneer Chore Boy because it was used to help scrub out pots and pans. We have pieces of an herbal tea called Brigham tea. Brigham tea was used to treat many things, such as asthma, upset stomach, headaches, cold, flu, rashes, itchiness, chills, fevers, aches, joint pain, bad blood, constipation, and lethargy. This display case holds mainly Native American Indian artifacts. We have a Navajo blanket that is brown, red, and black, and is one of our real priceless possessions. We have a buckskin colt, and a beaded hairbrush holder that was made by a Native American woman and given to a pioneer girl to hold her hairbrush in it. There is a mano and a mutati that was used by Native Americans to grind corn and seeds. This cello was used in the dedication of the Manti Temple. Here we have display books and 3-ring binders that tell a portion of the history of the early settlers in Ephraim, as well as a painting that was discovered in Yale University's library. That is a picture of inside the old fort, hearing from a soldier with the U.S. military as they came through.